Hi guys, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today I want to bring you a review of a movie I just watched, the recent release, Old 37. If you haven't heard about this, don't feel too bad. I think they only had this available at Walmart. I picked mine up on Amazon though, and I did do an unboxing if you guys want to check that out. So this movie is 84 minutes long, and it is a horror, and it stars Kane, Hodder, Bill Moseley, and Brandi, Cyrus. So there were a few things that I found confusing even about the story on this. Basically, it's about this kind of psychotic family, almost, maybe not quite as psychotic, but almost like the Texas Chainsaw Family, where the people are just kind of crazy. They kind of reveal slowly throughout the movie that the dad was kind of like he was probably crazy and a murderer and abusive, and the wife, she just kind of, I don't know, accepted it all, or just didn't do anything to stop him, and the kids ended up being kind of crazy. So most of this movie takes place later. The two sons. Now, I found this a little confusing. Let me just read this real quick. Deep down the forgotten stretches of back road where the cool kids race their cars, two deranged brothers, Daryl and John, intercept 911 calls in their father's beat-up old ambulance to extract medical atrocities upon their unlucky victims. To me, that doesn't even really describe this movie. They didn't come right out and say it, but it seemed more like their murders were revenge-based. And I can't tell you for what, although when they do give you the reveal in the movie, it's so obvious. There's no reason to even reveal it. It's just so obvious. But I won't spoil it. So they're more revenge-based, but they don't specifically say that they weren't killing people before this whole revenge plot. So I'm kind of confused on if this was just like a pit stop for revenge, or if that's the only people they were killing. It's really, really hard to say. Also, Kane Hodder wears a mask the whole time, and it's confusing why. He's demasked at one point, and he's like missing a tooth. I'm like, he had to wear a mask because he's missing a tooth. Why? So it follows this group of kids who have done some dumb things, including murder, and they basically start getting picked off one by one. And I don't know, there's not a whole lot more to the story than that. So I feel like this movie did a lot of things wrong. For me at least, they don't focus on really any characters. The main character is Amy, I believe it was, and they kind of focus on her, but it kind of jumps around too much, and they don't really hold it together that well, because like at the beginning it's like the dad's driving the ambulance, and then later it's like these kids get into a car accident, and then it's these other kids, and then we're following those kids for the rest of the movie. And then it'll spend time with this kid, and then this kid, and then the killers, don't show up that often, and there's not really a focus on them. And then there's like flashbacks to when they were kids. Like there's almost as many flashbacks as there is scenes with the actual murderers. And to me, it doesn't stick with anything long enough to really get invested in it, and it really gives you like this whole disoriented feeling where you're not even real sure like what's going on or where they're at in the movie. And to me, it really took away a lot from this movie, other than the fact that, like I said, they didn't really establish exactly what was going on in the movie. You can make assumptions, but you don't know for sure. If you're a big Kane Hodder fan, he's not in the movie a lot. Like I said, he's wearing a mask most of the movie. I don't even remember if he talked. And it did have some really interesting music choices. Some of them didn't seem to fit real well, but it had tons of music in it. Like, it almost felt like a music video at points. There's just so much music. But I think for the diehard horror fans, you know, this is worth checking out for $10. You know, it's a lower budget movie that has some faults, but it's not terrible. I think they could have done a little more if they had, you know, stuck with the characters a little more instead of just kind of being all over the place and, you know, like I said, really disorienting. I think for a score on this, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I think it's just a little bit below average. It could have used something to bring it up a little bit, but I don't hate it. I just think it could have used a little bit more to bring it up to that average level movie. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.
If you're interested, be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, follow on Twitter, and follow on Instagram.